Hi everyone, my name is Shirley and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, well, welcome. Today I'm going to be going over my Passion Planner mid-year goals. The reason I want to just have this video is for one, to keep me accountable, and two, for one of you guys out there to keep me accountable as I am, you know, going on this little journey here. If you guys have saw my first video about my Passion Planner and my goals, pretty much I wrote my goals down as I was talking, so for this video it's gonna be a little bit different. I already wrote my goals down into the roadmap, so pretty much it's just gonna be me talking through every single goal, why a lot of things changed, and some of them are a little bit personal, but I don't actually mind sharing. They're not personal enough that I don't want to talk about them, so I mean, yeah. But without further ado, I'm just gonna go right into it. Okay, here is basically my Passion Planner. Obviously, 3 months has definitely passed since the last time I filled out a roadmap. So pretty much for me, I guess my situation has been pretty interesting. I think before I had like an internship up in here and a couple other things, and since after I graduated, let's just say adulting has gotten quite a little bit too real. But I kind of knew this ahead of time, but definitely was not prepared for what was coming. So I highlighted pretty much the key things that I want to have done within those time periods. So for me, first one is definitely a job. Moving back to Sacramento has actually been really hard on me in terms of trying to get a job. And I know I'm not the only one out there, so I feel a little bit appreciative. But I mean, in order for me to, I guess, pay my bills, I might have to be looking at 2 jobs. If you're about my age, this is not a new thing. So for those of you who don't really get out of your town or city very much, the situation is very real and almost identical in other cities. Of course, I talked about kind of my car accident in my last video, and I'm doing a lot of pain management right now. It's not 100% my focus. I mean, it always is on a daily basis, but in terms of the next 3 months, I mean, these almost kind of go hand in hand in a sense for me, because if I'm not feeling completely 100%, it does affect how I work. For now, I feel like I'm almost at 100% and I'm super excited, so this is why it's not really highlighted. And then we have savings, of course. Every person, seriously, if you're 16, if you're 18, and you have some type of financial means, just start saving now. It'll help you so much in the long run. And I'm 22 and I'm finally starting an IRA. The IRA I have is also a type of savings account. I haven't put anything into it yet, but I do plan on doing that in the next month. So, you know, I'm getting the ball rolling there. So that's working out very fine. Also here I have something very important, and it's the GMAT and the GRE. This is for anyone who's interested in business grad school. So the GMAT is kind of like your version of the SAT, and your GRE is a kind of a version of an ACT. I didn't do great in either, so for me, I'm gonna have to do a lot of studying for these standardized tests. I realize I'm not very good at standardized testing, so this is gonna be quite interesting. Technically, applications open at the beginning of August for my university that I just graduated from. So whether this is happening in the next 3 months, I'm not quite sure, but I will try to increase my likelihood of studying more for either of these tests, just because at least within maybe 2 years, I really do want to consider going back for my master's, if, you know, my path allows me to reasonably have to go back. So that's up in the air. And also we have my YouTube channel, which you're on. I really want to dedicate myself to my YouTube channel right now, because in a way it's keeping me busy, but also it's letting me express myself, learn new things, and learn new digital techniques, because basically making YouTube channels for me is almost like not going through multiple tutorials on Adobe CC or anything, but it's a way to at least let me have my creative outlet regardless of what job I end up with in the next 3, 6 months, year, if it's not a creative outlet. That's pretty much why I'm seriously jumping back into YouTube. I feel like I've worked on a lot of projects and I think they could go really well, and I want to just improve on those skills that I have already learned on. So I think my YouTube channel is a great platform for that. Next off, I have my 1 year, definitely to be fit. Since I've gotten into my car accident, it is just finally recently that I started gaining a lot more weight. I think my body has finally realized that I am not as active anymore, and I definitely gained around 10 to 15 pounds in the last, I want to say 2 months almost. It's kind of crazy. I've never been this heavy. I'm also very short, so for me at least, I feel a little bit concerned about my weight and what it can potentially do to my body, because I already had issues about not having enough muscle in the first place. So this is a very big thing. Also, paying off my credit card debt. This one's a little bit personal, but all I really want to say is that if you are planning to not work during school, or if you're in some type of trouble, credit cards do help you, but also keep working your way out of the situation that you're in. And that's probably the deepest I'll go into that matter, but I mean, mine is not a lot, so, you know, don't trip. And I'm not really tripping about it, but, you know, I am working on ways to fix the situation, aka kind of going back to this. Basically, in the next year, I do want to consider going back for my MBA. I don't want to go back for my MBA until I really kind of just have some type of more professional experience into the field that I am in, which is business marketing. And I mean, who knows, if this one here kind of goes off, I mean, I still won't mind, no shame, for going back for my master's. Of course, I highlighted savings again because personally right now, the situation I am in, I am not the happiest person on planet Earth right now, and I really want to do something about it. And at this moment, the best way for me to go about it is kind of sucking it up, getting where I need to be, and saving for what I really want in life. Lastly, for the 1 year mark, my goal is to finally start paying all of my own bills. So of course, you know, I have, you know, a couple bills covered by my parents, and I'm grateful for that because that has really helped me in terms of being able to get things done. They actually recently have asked me to eventually start paying my own bills, probably within the next year, at least in my prediction. And me, I'm not really an expensive person right now. I've never really been the type of person to spend, I guess, great amounts on things on a monthly basis in terms of utilities, bills, and stuff like that. But right now I have a lot of bills because there's just a lot of loans that I took out to go to university. So this is not quite boxed right now. It is my goal, but if it doesn't happen within the year, I'm not too concerned because at least I have the support of one of my parents if things kind of fall flat. Also, while we are here for a little break on this is a Sharpie pen. I've been using this pen a lot. I actually really suck at writing in pen at the beginning of this year. I never really liked writing in pen. I always liked using mechanical pencils. This is a pen that I really like, especially because I am heavy-handed anytime that I write. So, I mean, the fact that you could see this pretty legibly and nothing's really bleeding, I think that's a huge improvement to where I would have been before. If we looked into all of these past things, which I actually put a sticker on because I like to move forward. I don't like to go back in time, at least not right now. So if you went back into these pages, there's a lot of times where I pretty much used like white out, or I just kind of scratched it out, or I was just like, God damn it, because I'm a perfectionist like that. I also have a couple other pens that I use. I used a zebra pen before. It's a little wobbly for me, and I'm still new at writing in pen, so that's why I switched to the Sharpie pen. And I also have these pens. These are kind of like my second go-to when I don't have this one around, and they kind of write almost the same to me. This one is a little bit thinner, it's more of a finer point. So this one kind of, I still bleed on this one a lot when I write, but I'm learning. So, I mean, we'll see at the end of the year. Back to regular programming though. My 3-year goals are definitely not different from what they were at the beginning of the year. If anything, I probably just changed the wording around a little bit or have added one. I don't quite remember right now. But basically, the 3 things here is to be debt-free, basically from all my student loans, if possible, or at least less in debt. Definitely out of credit card debt, and just to be a little bit more financially stable than I definitely am right now. Also, my goal is to buy a condo, and depending where I live, I might just upgrade that to a house. But big goal, I don't know if you can see it here, it looks kind of small on my screen, but that's 150K that I want to down on either a house or a condo into the future. This has definitely not changed. I want a doggo. If you don't know which doggo I want, I'm just gonna insert a picture somewhere around here. Isn't it the fluffiest thing in the world? Anyways, I love caissons. They're great family dogs. I had one growing up. It was my cousin's dog, and we pulled him off the street, and he was just the best dog ever. Like, I cannot explain to you how great caissons are until you actually come across one. Anyways, here I put Cambodia. I think before I had it in the year 1 and year 3, I'm not quite sure, but at this point year 3, because I have a lot of family business in Cambodia, but I have yet to go because I have a lot of situations that keep coming up, and I can't really go out of the country because a lot of them. So yeah, I mean, besides family business, I do want to go. It is my parents' home country, and unfortunately for me, I don't really speak the language, but I do understand Cambodian, and I think it would be really meaningful for me to go. I know for my dad, it would be super meaningful for me to go with him because he is the type of person that loves history. He loves talking about it. He always wants me to go, and I think it would be a great experience, besides the fact that I actually might become dark for once, because as you guys know, I am pretty light-skinned. I don't look a thing like a Cambodian. Some of you might be gasping and typing in the comments, oh my gosh, she's Cambodian. But yeah, that is the story of my life. Also, in the next 3 years, I really want to get a tattoo. I have 3 tattoos that I kind of have in mind. One of them is my dad's signature, which I mean pretty much looks like chicken scratch. And if I got it as a tattoo, it might look as a scar. But I really want to get his name just because he's really been my #1 supporter, and my dad talks about this a lot, but when the day comes, I just want to have a piece of my dad with me, always. Also, I want to get a lotus tattoo. It's just pretty simple, minimalistic tattoo, and it is going to be colored. It's going to be like color gradient. Kind of already had the colors I want in mind. I think it's white, pink, and gold. And the last tattoo, it's just kind of based off these Korean lyrics from a song that has really kind of reminded me that regardless of what I go through, I'm always going to come up, and there's no one really stopping me. So yeah, those lyrics are from mine, from Jaejung, and if you want to listen to that, I probably put the link below, just because it's one of my favorite songs, and it just constantly reminds me that, you know, as much as people want to get in my way, they're not going to get in my way. So finally, we have the lifetime one. I don't think this one has changed very much. I think maybe the only thing I really put in was the investment properties. I say this because this is what I actually been really wanting to do for a long time. After being in college for so long, I rented with so many other places, apartment complexes, dealing with landlords and stuff, and there's just a lot of things I wish that could be done differently in the practice, and I really want to do it, not just because, I mean, it would be great side income, but because I also want to offer someone a better living situation. but that's affordable. So that's a future for me. I won't have like too many investment properties because every property right now is pretty expensive. Even if you get a flipper, you're gonna spend a lot trying to fix it up. So that's a long time away for now. Of course, savings and traveling. I really want to go to Europe or Japan. I would put South Korea on there, but I'm allergic to almost every single goddamn food in South Korea. So that's questionable. Japan, I feel like I could kind of get away with it because I'm actually allergic to sesame. So yeah, these are the 2 places I really want to go to. I actually want to do like a European trip. So basically hitting up multiple cities. And I know I've looked into a couple websites that actually provide like the multiple trips and stuff. But for now, I'm holding it off. Of course, I want to be super healthy because, you know, a healthy body is a happy mindset, and, you know, being healthy just takes you so far. Being stress-free is kind of a lifetime goal. I mean, there's no such thing as ever being completely stress-free. But I mean, if I could be happy with the amount of stress that does happen to me on a daily basis at some point in my life, and not be like super down about it or sad or depressed or anything like that, like I would, that is the complete ultimate for me. That's like the true goal right now, because a lot of my health is affected by stress, and this is just, I don't know if it is for other people, but this is probably like the biggest factor for me right now, is that I want to work to be stress-free. If you or if something is that stressor, then pretty much the cutoff is real.
You need to cut it!
Finally, happiness, because everyone wants happiness in their life. I just want to be really just complacent, content. Not quite sure, both words interchange, but basically I want to be super happy in where I am in my life, even if that means, you know, I'm not like a CEO or COM, which is a Chief Officer of Marketing, or anything, you know, super special or executive. It doesn't matter to me. I just want to be happy. I don't know what road that's gonna happen or what path I have to take to make that happen. But I mean, it'll happen one day. So yeah, that's basically my mid-year roadmap for this side, which is the game changer. I actually have not really filled this out because for me, I feel like my day-to-day changes so often right now, and everything is so kind of just forever changing. There's nothing stable enough for me to write a game changer. So I'm not really gonna do that. Maybe in the future I will, because I know that there's not a lot of places where you could find how to set up a game changer. So one of these days I'll get to that. But for now, until more things are stable in my life, we are pretty much focusing on this guy. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm not gonna switch the camera around because that's a little bit too much work. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. My next video is actually gonna be a back to school video, because I know right now we're kind of in that moment where fall is starting, and whether you are a freshman in high school or a senior in college, I'm going to be talking about the best study habits that I had during high school and college and give those tips to you. Right now I'm still trying to condense them into maybe like 5 or 3 tips, but for right now, that's the video for next Friday. Ditto Pikachu just wanted to tell you that you are going to have an amazing day today, and if it's already nighttime, I hope you had an amazing day today, and we shall see you in the next video next Friday. Bye!